Hello everyone. This is my closet. And honestly, it's been stressing me out lately, which might seem like kind of a dumb thing to be stressed out by, but we have to get dressed every single day. We have to use our closets every single day. And just like having a kitchen or an office or a workplace that feels overwhelming, messy, and disorganized can like genuinely take a mental toll on you day after day, the same thing can happen in your closet. So today, we're gonna get my closet together. We're gonna declutter. We're gonna reorganize. We're gonna clean up. We're gonna make it a little cuter maybe. Who knows, maybe this will even be a catalyst for getting my entire life together. Not to dream too big. Okay, let's get in there. We're gonna start in here with some reorganizing. Something I've realized recently is that when my closet doesn't look like aesthetically appealing to me, it makes my clothes feel less aesthetically appealing, even if individually they're all really cute. And the current state of my closet is, I would say, pretty organized, but it's not cute. It's kind of ugly to look at. And something I've been thinking that could make it look a little cuter is, what if we organized everything by color? Not a groundbreaking concept, but something I have never done before. I always organize by type of item, and I'm, for some reason, a little nervous to reorganize by color because I'm like, I'm not gonna know where anything is. I'm gonna lose track of everything. But let's try it out. And if I don't like it, I can always change it back later. Let's start with the red items. Okay, I think I do want to keep the bottoms and tops separate just so that it's a little less chaotic, but I'll try to color code each section of bottoms and tops. Something I found funny about doing this is that I was so used to having my closet organized by type of item that starting this reorganizing by color was actually strangely stressful. While I was doing it, I was also thinking I might just immediately put it all back at the end and not even include this in the video, which on the one hand is just kind of funny. Like, what an unserious thing to be stressed out by. But on the other hand, I think this really just speaks to how much the state of your closet can really impact your mental state, at least for me. This is stressing me out. I don't know why. Is this better? Is this an improvement? I don't know. Okay, here's where we're at. And you know what? For a little bit, I was like, oh my God, this isn't working. This is just stressing me out more. It's making everything disorganized. But I think that's actually just because it's a little different than what I'm used to. And once I took a breath and stepped back, I do think it looks nicer. And I'm excited to see how this impacts how I interact with my clothes. I don't know if it's really going to look that much better on camera, but it's much more pleasant to look at in person. This feels like a good first step to recalibrating my closet and making everything feel less stressful to interact with. Wow, look at that rainbow. Happy Pride. It's so coordinated in here. I also think it's funny that the color sections are basically just neutrals, blue, green, and red because those are kind of the only colors I wear. They're very nicely captured here. Okay, next, while we're in here, there are a couple things up on these shelves that I also want to reorganize or maybe move around. I realize this will be a little harder for you to see, but let's just rearrange a couple things while we're here. Okay, things are progressing well in here. I moved all my winter hats and scarves and accessories into a different storage closet. I reorganized my bags and even color-coded them a little bit. I sorted through some miscellaneous things up on these shelves and also just sorted through this closet and took out some things that were out of season, like jackets that I will never wear in the summer. And I also took out some things that I'm not really sure if I want to keep and I feel like I need to take a look at them, try them on. We'll see. The last thing I want to do in here is just sort through my shoes a little bit, see if there's any that I'm not really wearing, and then just sort of refresh and reorganize this floor that's, I don't know, could use some improvement, I think. Can I be honest? I almost didn't show this part because I got embarrassed that my closet floor like had dust and dirt on it. The horror. Yeah, I think there's this really strange like pressure of performative cleanliness we see online where people can be incredibly judgmental of anything less than like spectacularly spotlessly clean. And I was like, oh my god, are people gonna think I'm gross? But then I remembered, that standard is just completely detached from reality. Literally no regular person lives like that, and the only way things become clean is by cleaning them. Every single clean space you ever see online or in real life gets dirty and has to be cleaned to maintain it. There really is just such an intense expectation online to present an unhuman level of perfection, and I'm guessing that's something you may not feel quite as intensely as I do with this job, but I imagine it's something we all think about. So let this be a reminder that that level of eternal perfect cleanliness is not reality, and frankly, a little dust or dirt in the corner of your closet is not actually hurting anyone. Okay, I am feeling so much better about my closet now. I'm also very sweaty. It's very hot today, but we're powering through. It's okay. Now it is time to deal with the other side of this room. This is where I've been storing the piles of clothes I don't know what to do with, and also some other junk and stuff I've been meaning to figure out for a while and I just haven't, and I just shove it over here and ignore it, and it makes working in this room difficult and annoying, and it also is not really solving all these wardrobe frustrations to have the piles still out. So let's deal with these clothes, or at least make a plan for them. I'm gonna bring them back on the other side of the room though, so we have better lighting. I'm gonna be honest, I really don't want to try clothes on right now, but this is a very manageable pile. I know I can do it. Sometimes you gotta force yourself to do tasks that you really don't want to do, and that's okay. You can do them and get them over with anyway. All right, first up, this jacket. I said I was decluttering this in a wardrobe declutter like a year ago, and then I changed my mind because it's just so cool, and I kept it, and I was like, let's see if I wear it in the fall or the spring, and guess what? Now it's a year later, and I didn't. It is very cool, but I think it's just not really my style, and also it's not quite the right fit on me. It's a bit too long for this bomber jacket shape. I feel like it would work better on someone taller, so I'm gonna pass this on finally. Next, we have this formal wear dress, which I am not going to try on. Here's a picture of me in it. I just got this secondhand online, and then it came in person, and it's simply too small. I took photos to try to resell it, and I am like standing up as straight and as tightly as humanly possible in these pictures, but there is no way I could actually functionally wear this. I also have this dress. I thrifted this to wear to a wedding in November, and I did wear it, but I don't feel the need to wear this again. So I think I'm gonna try to resell this too. Okay, everything else is tops and bottoms, so let me like put on some shorts. First top, this white tank top, which I cropped and added these bows to a few years ago, and then more recently I added this eyelet lace trim, and I think this is really cute, especially with the trim now, but it's just like too oversized on me and the armholes fit weird. I'm just very particular about tank top armholes, and I don't know, these ones bug me, and I feel like someone else could enjoy this more. Next up, we have this frilly white tank top, which I got secondhand last summer, thinking it was like my perfect blousey frilly white tank top, but since then I've realized I think I hate spaghetti straps on myself, or at least spaghetti straps with this very straight across cut. I don't know, something about this looks very weird to me on my proportions. This could be like somebody's perfect fit, but on me, I feel like it just looks weird. So we will pass this along as well. Okay, this is our next top. I cut it myself. I thrifted this to do this sort of like cut sleeve neckline DIY situation. And then I felt like maybe it looked kind of weird on me, and maybe it does, but I don't know. I like it right now with this outfit. And this also works really well for me when I'm wearing a sweater with a wider neckline and I want to layer something under it and all my t-shirts look weird. It's been pretty functional for that. Okay, next we have this knitted tank top that I got in the winter, hoping I could use it as like a sweater vest, but it's just way too tight to really layer over stuff as a vest. So then I thought, let me wait till summer and see if I can wear it as a tank top, but it's knitted. So it's like, I feel so warm and bad in this as a tank top. Could work for someone else, but I don't think this is going to be functional for me in my wardrobe. Okay, next we have my iconic thrift gremlin tee from Kathleen Illustrated. This I set aside because I found the longer sleeves and the higher neckline just like a little uncomfy, and I've been meaning forever to just like cut maybe a little slit in the neckline and also maybe cut the sleeves a little shorter, but I was putting it off because I was scared I was going to mess it up and I didn't want to ruin it. But that means I just haven't been wearing this and I would like to be wearing it. So you know what? Let's just do it right now. Oh yeah, baby. And let's maybe mark where we want to cut the sleeves as well. Oh my God, I feel so comfy and free. I can't believe I put this off for so long just out of worry when I love it. I feel like I could maybe even go a little deeper with this V or like cut this neckline open, but I tend to prefer more of a crew neck, so I don't want to make it too wide. For now though, this is already way better for me, way more wearable and comfortable for my sensory preferences. Amazing, can't wait to put this back in my wardrobe. Okay, here's our last top. I got this like in college and then I randomly found it in a drawer at my parents' house and I had like chopped the neckline off. And so then I thought, I don't know if I want to keep this, but I should at least hem the neckline a little nicer, whether I keep it or pass it on. So I did that. And then I just wasn't really feeling it. I don't know. I just didn't know when to wear it for some reason. And yet now while I'm trying this on, I actually like it more than I thought, and I kind of want to keep it. So maybe I will put this into storage with my winter clothes, my other long sleeves, and we'll see how we feel about it in the fall. Okay, those are all the tops. Next up, we have some bottoms to go through. But first, I have to go help my friend put together her wedding flowers. So I'm gonna go do that, and then we'll come back to this later. Wow, this actually looks very beautiful and very cutesy. God.
I hope that everyone is just in awe of my skills.
I think they are. I think they will be.
Everyone's just gonna be like, oh my god, can I hire you?
Who is that like, and why is she so good at floral arranging?
Who is she? Is she a famous florist?
Yeah, she is. Aw, it's so cutie. We've accomplished so much. Hello everyone, I'm back and I'm ready to try on pants. First up, we have these brown corduroys. I loved these. These were one of my favorite pairs of pants, and then I put them in the dryer and they shrank. And now the waist is a little too small, and they were like appropriately cropped before, and now I think they look quite awkwardly cropped. Just like a little too much for me. I don't know. I think these would be perfect for someone who is a couple inches shorter than me. We can pass these along. Next, we have these denim pinstriped shortalls, which are quite similar to the short overalls I was already wearing today. I like the variation of these stripes, but something about the shape and the silhouette of these is weird on me. I feel like for how baggy the waist is, the leg should also be baggier, and I think I like the other ones better. Overalls are so tricky because they really have to match and align with every part of your body. They just feel weird on me. Next, we have these pinstriped pants with little red stars on them. I thrifted these originally because I just like wanted some striped pants, and I was like, oh, these are pretty close, pretty good, but the stars really make them hard for me to wear, especially because they're in a color they're in sort of a cool tone red, and I prefer more of a warm tone red, and I know that doesn't sound like a big issue, but for some reason it makes me never want to wear these. And they also feel very, very preppy, nautical, and I just cannot seem to make them jive for me. I never want to wear them. So I think these can be passed on to a new home as well. Next, we have these white elastic waist pants I've had forever. I got them from the Goodwill bins in college, and I used to wear them a lot, which is why I've hung on to them so long, but I haven't been wearing them for years at this point. They're also too big for me. They've been too big for me the entire time. The elastic is just like, it falls down way too easily when I put anything in the pockets. They're also like very casual and loungy, but in casual loungy situations, I don't usually like wearing white because then I'm worried about messing up my white pants. I just don't really think these are serving me or my wardrobe at this point. So I think it's finally time to let them go. Next, we have these brown sort of lounge pants, sweatpants, which I recently got impulsively at a secondhand clothing sale put on by my sister's Ultimate Frisbee team. Shout out Medusa. If you're in Milwaukee, you should know them. But they were doing like a fundraiser sale to pay for tournaments and stuff. And I went a little hog wild and I got some really great stuff that has become like new everyday essentials in my wardrobe. And then I also got some other stuff where I was like, I'll just grab it. I'll just try it out. I want to support the team. But they haven't quite ended up working out for me. One of those, I think, is these pants. They just don't really fit me quite right. It's like they're meant for a tall person. The waist to crotch distance is very long. It's a little too long for me. They're not comfortable enough for me to have as comfy lounge pants. So these are going to need to be rehomed. These pants I also got at the Medusa Ultimate Frisbee Team secondhand clothing sale. And I have sort of a similar issue with them. I also got 2 pairs of pants that I love that you may see in a haul or something soon. But we didn't have like a great mirror to look at. And I was like, I'll just try them out. And they're just not really the fit and style I would prefer. I think they're a little too big on me. And I just don't know that they would really do much of value in my wardrobe. So I think I'm gonna pass these along as well. Okay, I actually just realized our last 2 items are tops that I missed earlier. So now let's try those on. This top is also on the chopping block, which some of you may be surprised to learn because it's a top I was really enthusiastic about when I thrifted it maybe 2 years ago. And I have worn it like a decent amount, but I've just realized every time I put it on, I feel weird in it. I feel like it doesn't look right. Like I love the top, but I just do not like how it looks on me. And I think, again, it's because I don't like spaghetti straps, especially with a bodice that's more of a straight across cut. I think I just have like relatively broad shoulders in proportion to the rest of me. And so I think skinny spaghetti straps and a very straight line across around the shoulders really emphasizes that. And I just don't really like how that looks. So despite the love I have for the idea of this top, I think it would probably work better for someone else in a new home. It's not really the tank top of my dreams that I hoped it would be. I think I need to make room for different, better blousey pattern tank tops that I actually like more in my closet. Okay, finally, we have this top, which is crochet and has too many holes in it to really wear as a top, at least for me right now on camera, but I've imagined it more as a layering piece. I actually got this from the clothing swap I hosted in Maryland last year. I think someone brought this closer to the end, so nobody saw it. And then it ended and no one had taken it. And I was like, this is so cool and so cute. I'm gonna give this a try in my wardrobe. And then I have never styled it or worn it. I don't love it over this dress. And I don't know what other dress I would even layer this over. A very cool item, but it just doesn't really have a place in my closet. So I think this can go along to a new home as well. So in conclusion, these are the items I'm keeping, and these are the items I am passing along to a new home. I feel like overall today we have already made incredible progress in getting everything together here. There's still a bit more to do, but right now it is pretty late at night, so I think I'm gonna be done for the day and we'll come back to this tomorrow. Hello everyone. It is actually a handful of days later. I have just had an absolutely wonderful whirlwind of a long wedding weekend for my dear friends, Molly and Andy. Everyone, send them some congratulations in the comments. Anyway, it's been an incredibly busy past several days, but now I'm back and I'm ready to finish up this closet decluttering and organizing by taking some Depop listing photos of all the things I'm passing along. Because if I just say I'm going to remove some things from my closet, that's not really enough and they could just continue sitting in a pile in the corner for months. I have to actually get rid of them. So photographing and listing these items on Depop is our next task. For this next step, I kind of just locked in to take these photos and stopped talking to the camera because I was honestly just feeling a bit overwhelmed and burnt out and annoyed at myself for not taking the photos on my body while I tried everything on earlier, and I just wanted to get it done. You may have sensed that my dominant mental state throughout this video has sort of been one of stress and overwhelm. I mean, I was partly stressed and overwhelmed by the state of my closet, and I do think getting all these things done helped, but I think I was also just stressed and overwhelmed and burnt out by life in general, and my closet was just sort of serving as like a small, convenient place to exercise a little order and control to make me feel like I have my life in general under control. To be clear, there's nothing like big and stressful specifically going on with me right now. I think I've just sort of been struggling to keep up with all of life's obligations lately. It's been a particularly busy season of life, and whenever other stuff comes up, I then have a harder time managing my workload. So I've been feeling a little stressed out and overwhelmed, and like I'm struggling to stay on the ball a little bit. And honestly, this has also been affecting my mental health a bit, because struggling to keep up can be frustrating in itself, but then also lately my struggle to keep up with all my obligations, especially when it comes to YouTube, has then been making me feel a little bad about myself. Especially because, again, there's nothing crazy and stressful going on in my life right now. I don't feel like I have a good excuse to be struggling to keep up, which then, prompts some negative self-talk inside my brain. I start to wonder, what's wrong with me? Why can't I manage everything better? And then I start thinking, if I just had a stronger work ethic or a more naturally engaging and likable personality in videos, or even if I were like prettier, then this would all somehow become easier for me. I just kind of start to feel like I'm falling short in every way, honestly. It doesn't even really matter if it's relevant. And it becomes kind of this negative feedback loop where I feel like I'm struggling to have my life together, and then that makes me feel bad about myself, which makes it even harder to be motivated and energized to stay on top of things, which then of course makes me feel worse. Not to be like super dramatic, I'm fine, don't worry, but just been in a bit more of an overwhelmed and negative headspace lately, as we all are sometimes. And eventually that stress and overwhelm reached my closet and brought us to this video. And for the record, the cleaning and reorganizing my closet did help, I think. It did make me feel calmer, clearer-headed, and ready to work on more tasks I've been struggling to keep up with. Of course, taking a week off from posting last week and letting myself just enjoy all the fun, busy stuff I had going on also helped. And I am incredibly lucky to have been able to do that, because I know many people are struggling with an intense sense of overwhelm and burnout and inadequacy and can't just spontaneously take time off whenever they want. And also, many people have much harder and more demanding jobs and lives than I do in the first place. So if that's you, I'm thinking of you, I'm rooting for you. I hope you get the rest you need and deserve. And thank you for listening to me talk about how I'm feeling right now, even if I feel like it's not really warranted. I really appreciate you being here. Like I said, actually forcing myself to do some of these tasks definitely did help me feel better and less overwhelmed and more energized to move forward. And doing this photo taking task sort of helped me fuel up to take on another task I had been putting off for weeks, setting up these new softbox lights, which I recently acquired to hopefully improve my video lighting. I was so excited to find these secondhand. I know these are probably pretty boring to most of you, but I was stoked to have an upgrade for my videos. That said, once I grabbed them, I couldn't figure out how to set them up and put them together right away, and then I said, okay, I'll figure this out later, and then I left them on the floor in their packaging for like a month and tripped over them constantly. So while I was feeling the productive high, getting to all these little tasks I'd been putting off, I thought it was time to finally figure this out. I looked up a video on how to set them up, and it literally took like 10 minutes. It was actually not hard or complicated at all. And my first impulse is to beat myself up about not doing it earlier, but you know what? Sometimes it just takes a while to work up the energy to deal with something because you had a million other things to do, even if that thing only takes 10 minutes. And I think that's okay too. Going at my own pace did not harm anyone. I got it done. And this task might be kind of boring, and maybe you won't even be able to tell the difference in lighting in the next video, but I am very excited to have these bigger, brighter lights ready to go. And I was excited to get another task that's been plaguing me in my mind taken care of. All right, y'all. With that, I think we are finished with our decluttering, reorganizing, task doing project this week. I am honestly feeling so much better. I feel so much relief having some of these things that have been plaguing me for so long just out of the way, taken care of. The next time you see me, it'll be in better lighting and a less cluttered room and mind. If you happen to be interested in any of the clothes that I'm decluttering, my Depop is linked below. Obviously, no pressure, but it's there. And with that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night or week or whatever little phase of time you're in. Thanks so much for watching. Tell me how you're feeling in the comments. I would love to know. I feel like I had a lot of feelings here this week. And tell me yours. Oh, and I heard if you do leave a comment, watch another video, and subscribe, the next time you order a formal dress to wear to a wedding online, it will fit you perfectly when it arrives.